Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're a parent, especially a new one, you know the feeling. The house is quiet, the world is asleep, but you're wide awake, rocking, shushing, and doing just about anything to get your little one to finally drift off. You've probably scoured the internet, read all the books, and received a mountain of conflicting advice. Well, today, we're cutting through the noise. I've talked to countless moms, sifted through what really works, and I'm sharing 5 baby sleep secrets that are total game changers. These aren't just theories, they're parent-proven strategies. So grab a cup of coffee, or whatever gets you through the day, and let's get you and your baby some much-needed rest. First up, and this one is huge, is mastering the drowsy but awake method. I know. You've heard it a million times. But what does it actually mean? It's the sweet spot between being fully awake and completely asleep. Think of it like this. When your baby is fed, burped, and their eyes start to get that heavy, glazed-over look, that's your cue. Instead of rocking them all the way to sleep in your arms, you gently place them in their crib. This is so important because it teaches them to associate their crib with falling asleep, not your arms. It empowers them to learn the skill of self-soothing. In the beginning, they might fuss or cry a bit. Your instinct will be to rush in and pick them up. Resist that for just a minute or two. Give them a chance. You can pat their back or shush them softly while they're in the crib. It takes practice and patience, but consistently doing this helps them learn to connect sleep cycles on their own, which means less waking up and crying for you in the middle of the night. Our second secret is all about creating a sleep sanctuary. Think about what helps you sleep. It's probably a dark, quiet, and cool room, right? Babies are no different. In fact, they're even more sensitive to their environment. Blackout curtains are your best friend. They signal to your baby's internal clock that it's time for sleep, whether it's for a midday nap or at 7 p.m. Even a little bit of light can be stimulating. Next, let's talk about sound. The world outside the womb is loud and jarring. A white noise machine is a miracle worker. It mimics the constant, comforting whoosh they heard in the womb, which is incredibly calming. It also does a fantastic job of drowning out sudden noises like a dog barking or the doorbell ringing, which can easily startle a sleeping baby. Finally, keep the temperature comfortable, ideally on the cooler side. A room that's too warm can be a SIDS risk and can disrupt sleep. By creating a consistent womb-like environment, you're giving your baby powerful cues that it's safe, it's calm, and it's time to sleep. All right, secret number 3 is a game changer for newborns and younger babies, the magic of the swaddle. If you haven't tried this, you're missing out. For 9 months, your baby was snug and secure in the womb. Then, suddenly, they're in this big open world with flailing arms and legs they can't control. This is where the startle reflex, or Moro reflex, comes in. You've seen it. They suddenly jerk and fling their arms out, often waking themselves up in the process. A swaddle is like a gentle, reassuring hug. It keeps their limbs contained, prevents that startle reflex from waking them, and recreates that secure, cozy feeling of the womb. Now, there's a right way to do it. You want it to be snug around their arms, but loose around their hips, to allow for healthy hip development. There are tons of great swaddle blankets on the market, from traditional squares to ones with Velcro or zippers that make it super easy. Once your baby starts showing signs of rolling over, it's time to transition out of the swaddle for safety. But for those first few months, it can be the key to longer, more peaceful stretches of sleep for everyone. Moving on to secret number 4, which is arguably the most important for long-term success. The power of a predictable routine. Babies thrive on predictability. They don't have a watch. Their sense of time comes from the sequence of events that happen every day. A consistent bedtime routine is a powerful signal to their brain and body that sleep is coming. It doesn't have to be complicated or long. A simple 20 to 30-minute routine is perfect. It could be a warm bath, which is very relaxing, followed by putting on pajamas, reading a short book, and then a final feeding in a dimly lit room. The key is to do the same things, in the same order, at the same time every single night. This calming sequence helps them wind down from the stimulation of the day. They start to learn that after the book comes the song, and after the song, it's time to go into the crib. This predictability builds a sense of security and makes bedtime a peaceful, expected event rather than a battle. This isn't just for bedtime either. A simplified version of this routine can also be used before naps to help them transition to daytime sleep more easily. And finally, our fifth secret. And this one is for you, the parents. Pay close attention to wake windows. What is a wake window? It's simply the amount of time your baby can happily stay awake between naps. A newborn can only handle being awake for about 45 to 60 minutes, while a 6-month-old might be closer to 2 or 3 hours. This is so critical because the biggest enemy of baby sleep is being overtired. You might think that keeping a baby up longer will make them sleep better, but it's the exact opposite. An overtired baby is wired. Their body gets flooded with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which act like a shot of caffeine. This makes it incredibly difficult for them to fall asleep and stay asleep. The result? A fussy, crying baby and a frustrated parent. So, watch the clock. But more importantly, watch your baby. Learn their sleepy cues. Are they rubbing their eyes, yawning, getting that zombie stare, or becoming fussy? Those are your signals that the wake window is closing and it's time to start your wind-down routine. Getting them down before they become overtired is the secret to easier naps and a smoother bedtime. So, there you have it. 5 secrets that have been tested and approved by moms in the trenches. Let's do a quick recap. Master the drowsy but awake technique to teach self-soothing. Create a sleep sanctuary with blackout curtains and white noise. Use the swaddle to calm the startle reflex in young babies. Establish a predictable and calming bedtime routine. And finally, respect those wake windows to avoid an overtired baby. Remember, every baby is different. What works wonders for one might need a little tweaking for another. Be patient with your baby, and just as importantly, be patient and kind to yourself. You are doing an amazing job. This phase of sleepless nights won't last forever, even though it feels like it will. Implementing even 1 or 2 of these strategies can make a world of difference. Thank you so much for watching. I truly hope these tips help bring some more peace and sleep into your home. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more parent-proven tips and tricks. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What's the one sleep tip that saved your sanity? Sharing is caring. Sleep well, and we'll see you in the next video.